your ability to empathize with the people across the table from you. Not all transactions go smoothly. Not all transactions have parties that want the transaction to go through, and they're there because they have to be, not necessarily because they want to be, or maybe they disagree in some way, shape, or form in the transaction. And so emotions can run high. You were telling me egos can get in the way. How do you handle that if you've got parties that just are clashing and are ready to walk away from the table at any point and dig their heels in? What do you do, Leah?
I stay calm.
Yeah,
and in
sure.
fact, I was telling you this morning, we had a rough morning with my toddlers. And one of the things that my husband says a lot is how I maintain my composure, especially with the kids, and I think, and I bring that over to the closing table because not everyone does this every day. Not everyone sells a house. Not everyone purchases a house. I'm desensitized to the amount of money that it takes because I see that large amount of money every day. But for someone who is buying their first home or, selling their first home, this is not common for them. So I sometimes have to remind myself that, $1,000 for me may not seem, for me, it's a lot personally, but professionally, $1,000 is not a substantial amount of money compared to $350,000, So I'm desensitized to it a little bit. So I have to remind myself that people don't deal with this every day, and emotions run high. Things happen. People have remorse. And I try to stay calm, explain to them in my experiences. So for example, you have a contract, there's a breach, one party breaches, the deposit's in jeopardy. It's a $5,000 deposit, for example. Parties are like, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Well, hold on. You may think it's yours, but no one's going to tell you that it's yours unless it's a judge. And that is going to take time and money, well over $5,000. And you take it to a judge and you're letting someone else make that decision for you. So I break it down to them in terms of time, money, and control. You want as much of all three of those things that you can get, right? So they usually come to the realization that I have control of this. I need to make the decision because $5,000 in the legal world is not a lot of money. And if you start bringing attorneys into it and costs and court fees, that $5,000 goes quick. And, this is the run of the mill. We deal with, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 deposits. That's the norm in my market. And I understand that there's other situations where, that deposit is worth going to court for. So in no way am I downplaying this situation, but most of the time for the general lay person, it is better in everyone's interests to agree on it at the table. You're in control, buyer, seller, you're in control of what you do. Because some people are so wrapped up in the time it's taken and the money it's taken, and they're kind of blinded by, you breached, it's my money, it's my deposit. Well, there's different factors, different variables that come in. It's not always black and white like that. And
are you the
people aren't
voice of
familiar
reason?
with it.
Are you the voice of reason for them?
I do. I try to be the voice of reason because I've been through it, and I know, I've done deposit disputes before. I've done, they call them, I can't even think of the term now, but basically if I'm holding the money, I have to file the lawsuit and name the two buyer and sellers as defendants. And then I back out and they have to fight it out. Can't think of the word right now, man. But it's a interplead. I don't know.
Intermediary?
So anyway,
is it
and that takes time and money.
Intermediary?
I'm gonna look it up. I'll let you know.
Okay.
But but it takes time and money,
Yeah.
so, and it's often more money than what people are willing to do, and what it makes them step back and think about taking that aggressive route because it's long and hard, and you may not get in front of a judge if the courts are backed up for months.
Yeah, sure.
And then, your deposit's just sitting out there.
Well, this kind of reminds me of that